I can't fucking believe it. I can't believe it. It's almost comical, I think. Um, yeah. So, I'm at a, am I at a loss for words? Uh, so I'll say off the bat, if you look at the reviews for this episode on IMDb, it is not as bad as the reviews make it sound. However, it is on the line of disappointing, underwhelming. It's not, you know, a solid conclusion to the series like this whole reboot or whatever you want to call it was meant to do, to fix the ending. I believe. I don't know if anybody ever said it, but to fix the ending of the original show. Um, and it has a feeling of, like if you had somebody, let's say they're in a competition, against all these other people, and you give this person in this competition like a cheat code, and they've been training longer than anybody else. There's no reason that they should not be able to pull off this task. They're making a cake, trying to make a cake better than everybody else. There's no good reason that they shouldn't be able to do it. And for whatever reason, the cake comes out and it's just not good, The episode was great, up until the very last 10 minutes. And I'm not really going to break down the rest of the episode, I don't think. Little elements, but not like I would for a regular review, like scene by scene, kind of. Because I can just broad spectrum say everything from this show was good up until the last 10 minutes. Yeah, it really was. It was great. And, so, the problem with that, though, is it's almost like Game of Thrones, where all of it being so good doesn't really matter unless the ending backs it up. That endings are just so damn important. They can really make or break something. They really can. I was thinking about doing a top 5 TV show video, like my top 5 favorites. And some of the shows that I wanted to put in there are shows that are incomplete. And I was debating putting them in there or not for this reason, because, I could have put Dexter New Blood in there, sure. And then this last episode comes around with the ending, and the ending kind of ruins the whole thing. Yeah, it's not as bad as the original ending. It isn't. And they were trying to give us what we wanted, for sure. But it's almost like the writer for the show, who ended in season 4, I believe, and had that ending with Harrison. He ended the story with Harrison, outside of the bathtub. And that's why it was a good place for him to pick up with this new story and integrate Harrison in there, because it was always his kind of having the father-son story, and he kind of does that here too. But it's almost like they brought him back in and he was like, I liked my ending in season 4, and I don't really want to do anything else other than that. I don't really know how. I mean, I hear what you're saying, the way that fans wanted it to end, which to me, I believe, was either Dexter getting caught by the police, serving out a death penalty, whatever, whole world knows he's the Bay Harbor Butcher, or for him to die, which we got that. But the way that we got it is the part that ruins it, I believe, which we'll get into. And it's almost like he just didn't really, I don't really understand, I never wanted Dexter to die. I don't know how the books end, or if they have an ending. I don't know anything about that. But yeah, it's almost like the showrunner just liked his ending, and he was just like, I can try, but he wasn't feeling it. He didn't really feel it, I don't think, for Dexter to end up that way. I don't know. It's just, wow. Again, it's not horrible. It's just underwhelming, I think is the best way to put it. So, I want to break down really quick some different scenarios, and of course I'm not smelling my own farts or anything, thinking I'm just the best, I'm not a writer or anything like that. I know it's probably much harder than it looks, but these people are the professionals, the writers of this show and all that, so I think they definitely should have delivered something different than this for the ending. again, it's just like, it's the same thing as the first one to a degree, where it's like, I see how you were going for that, but what you did was just not there. It's almost like, again, like you try to be so different and subvert expectations, like in a way where you don't want it to happen exactly how people envision it to happen. So you give us something that's not what we want, good, and it's good to subvert expectations sometimes, but then other times it's like, just give me what I want. So ways that I would have preferred, that we'll just never get at this point of Dexter ending, or they could have went with this. So one, Harrison, Dexter goes to prison. Batista comes. Yeah, that's hugely disappointing, right? Batista and Dexter never got to meet up again. They teased it. We expected some closure for Batista with Maria. What was her name? The La Guerta. I forget her first name, but I think it was Maria. But yeah, so that was disappointing. They built up on that closure and just kind of didn't. I guess we can assume that he got closure for it after the fact. I don't know. It feels like everybody's most focus was on the dad, I forget his name now. I'm really bad with names, but the guy who had all the women killed in the basement. It feels like the focus was on him more than Dexter. But with the public eye anyway, so we could have had an ending with Dexter going to prison, serving out a death penalty in Florida, which would have been totally awesome to see him come full circle back around to Florida. They say Florida is like the hell of the U.S., right? Because it's, at the bottom, and it's really hot there, and crazy people live there or whatever. So we could have seen Dexter live out his death penalty in Florida on death row, and Harrison picks up the mantle as the Bay Harbor Butcher, and of course has to do it in a different way than Dexter, a little bit different, but he still carries it out, and then maybe we could have a spinoff with Harrison. I think that would have been awesome. Maybe we still do. Harrison's still out there, but it seems like at the end he's absolved for some reason. I don't know. That's I think one of the biggest problems there. Dialogue, interaction. Dexter's core character is always get away, get away, get away, and I think at any cost, as we saw with him choking the police officer out and killing him. So him to just decide to stick around whenever Harrison had the gun on him, I don't really understand. Why he thought that would fix everything. Why Harrison thought it would fix everything to shoot his dad, I don't understand, and maybe it's a deeper meaning. I really have to sit and think about it, but if I really have to sit and think about it for it to be good, then it's really not that good, in my opinion. I've seen plenty of series finales that don't have that element to it, The Sopranos is one of those where you have to sit and think about it for it to be good, and then you're just like, fuck this. Everybody loves The Sopranos, though. Sorry, everybody but me. Anyway, it's not a terrible show, it's just overrated. So, yeah, that would be one way for Dexter to live out his death penalty in Florida and get caught, and Harrison pick up the mantle, and we see that, we see it. We don't assume, we see it happen. Maybe they change out the actor for an older actor, I don't know. And then the next way, Harrison could kill Dexter, yeah. But they're going to need to rework some of the stuff with Harrison, because I'm still confused if he was has the same dark passenger or not. Or if he was just actually kind of a messed up kid. And I don't know. I think some of the stuff he had to be pretty messed up, right? Pretty touched. But let's say Dexter doesn't stop. Dexter tries to leave. And Harrison is kind of like Dexter has been. I think for the course of the show, it's hard to say or not. But I think Dexter has always had kind of lying to himself, telling himself that he's doing these things for the greater good and he's a hero. But at the end of the day, he's just a fucking serial killer like everybody else who just lies to himself and has his own messed up reasons, as we saw the dad do, the old man, I can't think of his fucking name right now, Harrison's mentor, the guy who killed all the women, as he kind of had his lies and his reasons, for doing what he did. But at the end of the day, Dexter's just a fucking serial killer, and maybe Harrison really tries to stop Dexter, and Dexter hurts Harrison, in some way, like really is about to kill Harrison just to get away by the skin of his teeth. And that's whenever Dexter maybe has a moment of realization of, wow, I'm really touched, I'm really far off, and he has Harrison kill him then. I would have liked that better, I think, than this, where they just kind of talk it out and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, just kill me. You're right. This is gonna make you better somehow, and me. I guess in a way it would make him better because he's stopping killing people that could potentially change. Yeah, so I think that would have been one way, or you could do it where they kind of fight and Dexter is still trying to get away and Harrison just kind of mows him down as he's still, just trying to get away up until the very end, or you could have had Harrison and Dex. This is a little bit similar to the first ending, but Harrison and Dexter get away and they both, well, I don't know, I'm going to say something that I'm not going to like, but I think I've given out some scenarios that would have been better than this, right? Yeah, because I always want him to get caught or get killed, and he got killed. It's just the way he got killed felt extremely underwhelming, and just half-baked, like, didn't really make sense for him to just give up like that there, and for Harrison to give up on him there, too. Yeah, I mean, they were close, but just not there, and because of that, like I said, it kind of ruins how good all of this was and how it had potential to be and be a real comeback for Dexter. And at the end of the day, I'm left with the same feeling that I left at the first series ending. It's not terrible, it's just not what I wanted, and same thing with this. It's not terrible, it's just not exactly what I wanted, how I wanted it, yeah, so I mean, yeah, that's really all I got to say. Just kind of crazy, that we ended up almost in the same place, kind of. Yeah, it's just kind of processing, just kind of sitting in and thinking about it. I'm gonna have to watch some more reviews. I do think people were a little bit hard on it because the way I was thinking whenever I saw the reviews, I was like, oh, he's gonna get away again, and yeah, and that's how it's gonna end. He's gonna get away somehow, and they're gonna do the exact same thing again. But no, it's not quite that bad. It's just kind of meh, it's just meh, and the point of this was to get away from that kind of meh feeling about the ending, right? So felt just kind of rushed. Yeah, just those last 10 minutes, and I kept watching up until the last 9 minutes, and it's been pretty good so far, and yeah, and then it just kind of, yeah. Well, it's crazy, just crazy. It's like Dexter's cursed or something. They just can't get away from that kind of thing. Alright, so that's what I got. Anything I forget, I usually forget stuff with videos. I'll put it in the comments. Let me know what you thought about the finale and the ways that you would have preferred it to end differently. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.